Yo, welcome to Fast Forward Mindset Motivational Podcast. I'm your host, Coach James. This is where we rewire your thoughts, reset your mindset, and fast forward your life. No more rewinding, just discipline, motivation, and the truth you need to become unstoppable. If you're ready to elevate your mindset and take control of your future, you're in the right place. Let's go.
Yo, what's going on, everybody? Hope all is well. Hope you're having a good week. Yeah, I'm on my second week of podcasting 4 days a week. And I'm telling y'all, I'm really loving the fact that I'm able to podcast a couple more times a week. And so I hope y'all been tuning in. I hope y'all hit the follow button, because you hit the follow button, you never miss a moment to rewire the way you think. So y'all, today's podcast, I want to talk about, it's a question. Okay. And the question is that, do you often speak before you think, and has it ever hurt you? Let me repeat the question. Do you often speak before you think, and has that ever hurt you in any way, shape, or form? It might have ruined a relationship. It might have ruined a partnership, a business ship. It might have even ruined a romantic relationship, or even a relationship with your children. Some of us just talk out of turn and not even stop to think about what we're saying. How is it going to impact someone else, and how is it going to hurt you? Because we could say something today and it feels like we had to say it, but it comes back to hurt you 6 months or a year or 2 years from now. I've known people who had great relationships before, and somebody said something, and because of the words that they use, it starts a fire in somebody's heart, and it hurts you. It hurts you and them. You guys are no longer friends. You no longer have a relationship. You lost your business partner. I mean, all kind of things have happened because some of us just say things without thinking about it. One thing I've learned about myself in general, because I used to speak before I think a lot too, y'all. One thing I've learned is that you really, really want to be a better listener than a speaker. Where the issue come in at is that a lot of us, or have that I have to win attitude. And let me tell you what that I have to win attitude is from. It's from arguments. You have to feel like you're always right. You have to always win. And you have to always value yourself above someone else, because you feel like that the words that you shared or the statement that you made is better than the other person. Right. And that's why we say things to hurt people sometimes, not because it's a good feeling, but we just want to win the argument. We just have to be able to say, hey, I said this, I was right, and you need to accept it and just let it be. And that's not the case. So we must think before we speak. We must listen before we speak. It's funny, when me and my wife are having a disagreement, she's good about calling me out. And so the other day we were in Lowe's, Home Depot, excuse me. And we were looking at the storage units, or not storage units, the storage, what do you call them? Cabinets or storage. I can't think of what they call them, but like storage that you put up in the ceiling, or you tie them down to the wall or even the ground, right? But we were looking at the ones that you put in the ceiling. And when we're looking at them, she starts asking questions, starts saying this, starts saying that. And then I was quick to respond to her. And then she asked me a question. I can't remember what it was exactly, but her response is that stop and listen and then respond. And I told her, she said, stop and listen and then respond. And when she tell me that, I always say, don't talk to me like I'm 5. And then she says, well, don't act like you're 5. Listen. Your wheels are turning, your mind is thinking, stop and just listen. And when she say that, it really makes me question, am I really listening or am I just thinking? Because sometimes, y'all, we can think we listening and we're thinking of our next response. And when you do that, you're not listening to someone fully. You are preparing a answer or response or statement in your mind as to how you want to come back at them, whether it's a positive comeback or negative comeback. And usually a lot of times when we're preparing a statement or a comeback, it's usually negative, but we think it's positive, but it's going to come out all negative. Y'all talking to someone from experience. It's going to come out negative. So do you speak before you think? And has it ever hurt anyone? I really want you to marinate on that question and really, really think about how many times your words have hurt someone. Or someone has came back to you and was like, hey, you said this a couple of weeks ago. That kind of hurt my feelings. I can't believe you said that, but I'm going to forgive you and we're going to move on. Happens all the time, right? I'm going to forgive you and we're going to move on. But we have to really be conscious about what we say and how we say things. And that's why I said, y'all, we need to become better listeners than speakers. Yes, I know everybody wants to win an Emmy award for being a great speaker. Everyone wants to win an Oscar for being the best acting speaker or whatever. But in reality, it's not about the speech. It's about your listening skills. Because when you have better listening skills, your speech gets better because you really hear people out. And because you stop and hear them out, you can respond with emotion as you should be responding, right? Because when we respond with no emotion, with the unconscious mindset, that's when we say stuff to hurt people. But when we stop and we listen with the conscious mindset, now we really stop and understand people and put ourselves in their scenario and say, if I say this, that would not be right. That'll come out all bad. It would not be good at all, period. I remember growing up as a kid, we used to play spades and bid whiz. And I don't know if any of y'all know what bid whiz is, but it's almost like spades. And so this was like a weekend ritual. My mom, myself, my cousins, my brothers, my sisters, my aunties, and my uncles. And let me tell y'all, some of these games would really, really get really dicey and they would get violent sometimes. And when I say violent, somebody might end up hitting somebody. That's how crazy these card games used to be. But in the heat of the moment, when we're playing cards, someone says something and then someone responds back without thinking. And voila, there you go. You just said something that really offended somebody. And it could be both ways. You could say something that offends someone and their response back to me could offend me. Right? And so we have to be very careful about the things that we say. Like I said earlier, y'all, we have to become better listeners. And let me land a plane for y'all. How do you become a better listener? Be a better listener. Just listen. Stop your brain from moving. Like my wife tells me, stop your brain from moving. Close your mouth and let your ears listen. Engage your ears. Because when you engage your ears, you hear a lot. And then you understand a lot. And when you understand a lot, you respond a lot better versus just diarrhea of the mouth. And so we become better listeners by number one, just actually being an engaged listener. Number two, understanding what someone is really saying, how they really come across. Have you ever been talking to someone and they say something and you kind of cut them off because you think you know what they're going to say? And then they come back and say, yes, I was going to say that, but they repeat how they're going to say it. And now your understanding of what they was going to say is a lot different. You're like, oh, I said it this way, but you said it this way. It's the same thing, but you understood it as if it was an attack. And then once you stop and let them explain it, when your ears are engaged, then you're like, it wasn't an attack. This person was just opening up their heart and being honest about the emotions about what I said in a moment. So we must understand, engage our ears, understand. Last but not least, there's this saying, y'all, if you don't have nothing to say at all, don't say it. Don't respond. It's okay to just listen to people. It is. It's okay to just listen. Let me tell you one thing right now about guys. We're fixers. And so we always have to fix something. And because we always got to fix something, when our wives and our ladies try to tell us something, the first thing we become is Dr. Fix-a-Lot. And so we try to fix the problem that they're telling us they have. In reality, they don't need us to fix the problem. They need us just to listen. And when you listening, fellas, your ladies know you're really listening, or when you're not really listening. They know when your ears are engaged. They know when you're understanding them emotionally. They get it. They know it. And I'm not saying, fellas, we don't know as well, but a lot of times with us having a fixer mindset, it's hard for us to cut our mind off and just listen, because then we're trying to fix the problem. And in reality, there's not a problem. She's just sharing her emotions with you. So y'all, how do we become better listeners? How do we think before we speak? Number one, engage your ears. Number two, be understanding. And then number three, no response. Sometimes response is not required. It's not. They're not going to say you're not listening. Sometimes a response is not required. And if they do want you to respond, they'll ask you, hey, what do you think? Well, I told you all this. How would you handle that? They don't say that. They don't need you to respond. They need you just to engage your ears and be a great listener. So y'all, be a better listener than a speaker. Hey, y'all, thank y'all for listening to today's episode. I really appreciate it. If you're not checked out my website, go check it out. It's www.rewirethewayyoutthink.com. Y'all, I'm not hard to find. I'm on IG all day, every day. It's Fast Forward Mindset Podcast. I almost said that wrong. Again, my IG name is Fast Forward Mindset Podcast. If you're not hit the follow button, make sure you do, because you hit the follow button. You never miss a moment to rewire the way you think. If you haven't thoughts of suicide today, thoughts of hurting yourself or someone else, please don't hesitate to call the Suicide Prevention Hotline at 988. Hey, y'all, I'm Coach James. Let me help you wire the way you think. And as I always say, if your monster doesn't make you money, it's costing you way too much. And that's my 2 cents on it, y'all. Peace.
Thank y'all for listening to today's episode. And remember, don't rewind your life, fast forward it. Until next time, keep moving forward. Hey, y'all, I'm Coach James. Let me help you wire the way you think. All right, y'all. Peace.